everyone. Welcome to the Corsair Cup. Today I will be solo casting as Rifkin is still on the west coast of America and is traveling home. He should be back in time for the Alima League tomorrow unless something happens, which is the good news. I'll be solo casting this, casting again later tonight, and also casting the Alima League tomorrow morning. So that's a lot of casting. And then everyone's off to Montreal. So get all the StarCraft 2 casting on this channel while you can, I suppose. Looks like the bracket has been finalized. Let's grab a game, any game, doesn't matter. HellraiseR, Blind, not really any matches that stand out to be particularly fantastic. Let's see here. I guess I'll choose games that actually have their players in chat. That'll be priority number 1. HellraiseR is here. Maybe HellraiseR versus imbAllard? imbAllard here? He is. I guess I'll go with that. I'm looking forward to casting Hero Marine later on in the brackets. And I was thinking about catching the best of 3 up until that, but oh well. Since Gerald seems to be not in chats. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna tell the admin if Hero Marine gets a match. Hold it, please. Come to hold it. Okay, cool. Got a game. So this might not be the best series ever. As it looks like one of these guys might actually be bronze. But we're gonna go with it. Oh boy. Amazing. I saw you guys yesterday for the Colonial Wars cast, so I have no new updates. Nothing really to chit-chat about and fill the downtime with. Feels bad. But yeah, you can see that's, actually, no, it's HellraiseR that had the border, so never mind. He's definitely not that low league. I thought it was this other guy, imbAllard, that had mysteriously low league. But I'm not so worried now. Maybe this actually end up being an okay game, okay series. We'll see. In the top left as the blue Protoss, he is HellraiseR. In the bottom right as the red Zerg, it is imbAllard. I assume, anyways, you know, imbAllard. His name could be Lard, I suppose, but I'm gonna go with imbAllard. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna choose to do here. So, it's the Corsair Cup Season 9, Week 1. So, been a lot of Corsair Cups. Our fresh start last week was the finals, which I also solo cast on a Wednesday. So, if you want to check that out, then I believe it's. Well, I guess eventually it'll be up on YouTube. Or YouTube, of course, is in a bit of state of change, I suppose. So, if anyone wants to link the new YouTube, that'd be great. I know the bot's down, so we don't have it handy, but we have been changing over from our old YouTube that has a decent number of subscribers, but absolutely no way to make money, over to a new one that's going to house all of our VODs and, you know, anything else we decide to put up on YouTube. So, make sure to follow that new one. And yeah, you can, if you can't do that, I suppose, then subscribing and watching the old cast is the best way to go. And it's always appreciated. Well, Like I said, I was mistaken about the actual level of these players. imbAllard is Masters, maybe GM sometimes, I don't know. And HellraiseR has shown us some pretty good games, actually. So I would give him the win, even if imbAllard is sometimes GM. HellraiseR's actually been doing pretty good, beating some names that you wouldn't really expect, getting into the top 4. Actually, I had to give him money a couple weeks ago. So he's definitely an up-and-coming European Protoss to look out for. Still, I would definitely say far below a lot of other ones. Obviously, he's not getting top 16 in like WCSs or anything like that, or even actually making it through the qualifiers. But hey, online stuff, if that's the first, it's not the first place that you're gonna actually make yourself noteworthy, then that's actually totally okay. No shame in that. Online cups certainly have had their fair share of stories to tell, I suppose. Byun is a bit of an oddity because he was on a really good team, Prime, back when they were a really good team, and not what they ended up being. But even him, coming back and only playing in online cups and then having that performance, I think it was an IEM. We knew that was coming for like 7 months because we watched online tournaments and was like, well, Byun is just dominating, so totally a valid way to start making a mark on the StarCraft 2 scene. But certainly winning online cups, getting top 4, and gets better at the monthly cups, and then it gets better into the WCSs, Challenger, Ladder, whatever, and then maybe after that he'll be, I don't know, winning WCSs? That's a bit of a stretch, but you get the idea. We do have, how is it going for an Oracle opener and 2 gateways. imbAllard did take the third base as his natural first. He lost a couple of drones to that Adept. It actually wasn't really too bad of an Adept, to be honest. Did it die? Yeah, it died. One Adept getting any drone kills like that is, I think, actually a little bit shocking. Overlord got into the main base, was able to see the Stargates, not wholly unexpected from a Protoss player. So Sport Crawlers are on the way. And he sees the Oracle even moving across the map. So checks and sees 2 gateways at the front. Maybe saw it barely, just the 2 gas timings in the natural. Nope, just kidding. They did not see that. That's okay, though. Around 4 minutes is when they're going to put it down, unless they're doing something really wonky. And then the next thing to check will be that third base timing, which notably HellraiseR is not getting the fastest third base you can get as a Protoss player off of a Stargate. So I am wondering what this could lead to. I guess pay attention to that as we watch this Oracle also take out a Queen and then a drone and then get out of there. But there was just no defenses at that natural base. There's also no drones at that natural base, so it was kind of a give and take. I do believe my... Oh no, my sound settings actually aren't changed that much. Why do they sound so low? Well, I guess it was just the music that was low. Well, if there's any issues with the sound, you guys let me know. So, back to the overall macro game here. Nice stasis trap means we popped one of these drones. There we go. We got a Baleen that's coming down for imbAllard. Actually, the third base is a little bit weird, but not too bad. And there we go. I was wondering if HellraiseR was going to do something off of 2 bases because, well, the third base is taking its time coming down. I mean, if you've been link dropped or you're scared they're going to be really aggressive, then I suppose keeping that third base behind the tech, for Toilet Council Robo makes sense, but it should come down very shortly after that. The fact that he's delayed it past the Gateway production and the Templar Archives as well should be actually really worrying for imbAllard. It looks like he's still going to take the third base, but almost a whole 2 minutes after what you could have gotten from a Stargate opener. Maybe do a little bit more if you were super greedy and didn't get the 2 gateways first too. So I don't know, I mean, he could have been really cautious because he wanted to see how that natural looked, and just seeing that there were no drones of the natural made him really worried. I mean, this is just how he plays, but certainly that production of 8 gateways, I'm not sure can actually be something he can afford until that third base is completely saturated. He is going for an attack at the front. We see this attack often still off the back of a faster third base. Hits around 7 minutes. But this one hitting maybe a little bit sooner with with fewer units. Still hits with charge and double Archon. So imbAllard just not prepared for this. Still getting difficult hooks, still getting an army. He only recently got up to 60 drones, which is even not impressive. And while this, as I said, like, I don't think it can support 8 gateways entirely, like every single warp in, this is still looking like a snowball effect, a huge stasis trap on that third base. And Allard just was simply not prepared for this. Another stasis trap at the natural base gets a ton of drones. Allard definitely struggling here. Had the right ideas for a macro game to start things off with, but didn't take advantage of the greed when he could have. And some of that probably had to do with that lack of a third base. I mean, he probably should have fit in the drone round a little bit earlier, and then, you know, the army as well a little bit earlier, but got caught unawares. Didn't also have any scouting on that warp prism actually warping in, which would have maybe allowed him to buy some time. Who knows? They get a Riamar for the 41-month resub. CGB Hoy. Rip Ace Hoy. It is going to be Allard's map choice. Well, he made it with Game Heart, so... Actually, don't mind that he made it. It's going to be Interloper. And Allard definitely just getting caught with the wrong... I'd say set of units, but it's more like he just didn't have any units. You know, the set of units that he had were drones. And there wasn't even that many. Like, it wasn't like he was caught going for a super greedy 4th base with 72 drones, and then I was like, oh shoot, like I don't have enough drones. It is that he was caught at like 60, but without an army too. So there definitely might have been some hesitation at the wrong spots because he was so unsure of the build, and also that lack of third base. Like, when exactly was HellraiseR planning on hitting? But let's see what we can do on his own map choice. It's game number 2 on the top left. As the red Zerg, it is Allard. In the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, he is HellraiseR. As I was saying, like, that attack that he did with Charge Lot and Archon, you can actually do that off of 3 bases, you know, a very quick third base. Don't get the gases, you know, don't hurry up to storm, that type of thing. But it does hit, I think, like 30 seconds later. That might have been all part of the plan. I think the lack of a third base is something that really would unsettle a Zerg player. It's not the most rare thing in the world, but it is still something that's uncommon. Usually that third base comes right after the Stargate, so the Zerg player was probably always wary, especially if they're being denied scouting. I thought Allard got fast Overlord speed, though, so you should have gotten in there and see that it was not something weird like a chargeless all-in that was hitting, like, way sooner, that it was still Twilight Council, Templar Archives, Robo, Forge, all that jazz, and that, you know, that's still gonna wait on that timing of +1 and charge to actually hit, and then maybe he would have known the exact timing, or close to it, because the thing is I would say from 6 minutes to 7 minutes, you should have a Ling, probably, right where HellraiseR was warping in. That's a very common warp-in location on Abyssal Reef, and if you can see it nice and early, you could also pounce on it nice and early. If 20-30 Lings roaming around the map, well, then you can actually get on top of the morphing Archons and the Zealot and actually kind of nip it in the bud. That's a true power move, actually, to try and stop that from happening. But that was last game. This game, Allard might be a little more wary of how HellraiseR plays and might be a little more fluid. Because, I mean, the worst thing about playing Zerg, I think, and the biggest reason, of course, why they are usually the ones that are the weakest to weird play, is that they have to decide, like, am I droning or am I building army? And truly great Zerg players will know exactly how to build up the 72, 75 drones as quick as possible, and then make an army only when necessary. But if you don't know your opponent, if you don't know how they play, if you don't know what the build is, if anything does throw you off, like, that throw off is actually huge. hesitation of 7 seconds because you don't know how to make army or drones is actually really big when you get higher and higher up those leagues. So we'll see here. We actually have something interesting, though, happening that imbAllard is going to scout. So a Twilight Council was put down, and it's going to be cornering Resident Enclaves. This used to be the #1 way to build as a Protoss player, I would say like maybe a year ago. This was what everyone was doing, getting Resident Enclaves, going into attack, and then going into third base. Definitely got moved over to the kind of superior Stargate expand that still led to aggression sometimes, as we saw in the last game. But the Resident Enclaves, it definitely fell off. Zerg players are starting to get really used to the timings. They're starting to deal with it very effectively. And it didn't do what it needed. So you would even see people go for it and then not actually attack with it, which makes you question why you even go for it. Like that type of thing. So to see it again here is really interesting. HellraiseR looks to be going just for that expansion process, not the full, 7-8 gateways. And imbAllard is hopefully not going to over-respond, because I think that's the biggest weakness that could happen against this build nowadays is the over-response. Ooh, this is a very classic way of playing Protoss. Into the double Stargate immediately after. Alright then. Good thing imbAllard got that overload speed, because he is going to check for this. Double confirming also the lack of additional gateways so that you don't have to build so many units, really just a couple of adepts. Well, more than a couple, like 7 or 8 adepts. 7 in this case. But you deal with that with as few units as possible, and then you get prepared for the double Stargate follow-up, and maybe even denial on that third base when they try and set it down, because by attacking with these adepts, the Protoss certainly is risking losing their defensive setup. But it looks like imbAllard was not quite prepared. He definitely, cut, I think, early enough, or maybe not early enough. I was thinking 40 drones is okay, but his roaches still aren't out. They're taking their sweet time, and the adepts are getting into the third base, the natural, and the main, killing so many drones. This is already very effective, and just roaches really doesn't cut it. There's still slow roaches. Lair isn't done. There's only so many of them, so their DPS isn't good enough to stop the adepts from just murdering all the drones. And they can't really counterattack either because they are still slow and in low numbers. So if HellraiseR really was worried about being attacked, then he might just build like a Void Ray, for instance, or as many Oracles as he wants, because Oracles have good DPS too. But that was an amazing amount of damage from 7 adepts. 26 drones went down. imbAllard is actually just going to tap out right there. GG. Quick and easy 2-0. HellraiseR is definitely getting up there in Protosses that you gotta look out for. And imbAllard, well, he might have actually only been Masters, which might seem unachievable for some people, is actually, grand scheme of things, tournament-wise, usually not going to get to the top 4. I don't think anyone has said anything about the audio, so I'm going to assume that's a-okay. How does the rest of the bracket looking to shape up to be? Looks like Railgun got a walkover. So he's going to face Nerchio now. Nerchio probably in a game. Oh no, he's just AFK actually. Alright, so I still want to catch Hero Marine, but I think he's also just playing games waiting for Gerald and Phoenix tiers to end, which that could be, at any point. HellraiseR does not have an opponent, so that we're in that awkward, there you go. That awkward phase where that was way too quick, and there's the matches weren't quite set up to be long, grueling ones. So I'm just gonna go to break. I'm so casting today, and casting again in like 8 hours, so more breaks better. Thank you to El Borracho for the 32-month resub. Buenos dias, amigos. I did not take any Spanish. That was my best attempt. Alright, see you soon.